watching 11 on 11. 11 minutes of non-stop news and your forecast first on 11 News tonight.
Good evening. First on 11 on 11, sex and violence on your home computer. Just wait till you see what your kids could get their hands on.
It's the latest computer game to hit store shelves. Some say it's the most graphic to date. And your kids are the target. 11 News reporter Angela Hale shows it to us. She's in our Fort Worth newsroom. Angela, just how bad is it?
Well, this is it. It's the new computer game put on many shelves today. Some believe it's not your ordinary computer game because the pictures are just too graphic. The computer game shows illusion, murder, and uncontrollable evil. It also shows graphic sex. People who follow the video industry say Phantasmagoria is definitely bloody. We're not going to show you the violence or gore, but it's there, and many teenagers say they'll buy it.
There's a lot of our friends who go for all this stuff. Yeah, there's this new video game coming out. It's like twice as gory. Let's go play it.
And this is exactly what concerns a lot of parents and organizations like the Christian Coalition.
As a society, to some form of responsible decision-making in protecting children from harmful effects. We do it with alcohol. We do it with cigarettes. Let's do it with this kind of material.
Material like the new computer game and its predecessor, Mortal Kombat.
The video game Mortal Kombat was the bloodiest ever, but it was so popular they made a movie out of it. Now Mortal Kombat is the #1 movie in America.
Kids like these teens are flocking to the theaters to watch Mortal Kombat.
When we went to see Mortal Kombat, we saw these little kids come out acting like they're karate people and all that, and they started getting in a fight. They thought it was fun.
The older teens didn't think it was funny, and many others don't think these new violent games are something to laugh about. The new game is on CD-ROM. This is one of the discs. There are 7 in this one game.
Angela, can anyone buy this particular game?
Well, the interesting thing about this, if you take a look at the box again, it says M. It's got a mature rating on the box. It says ages 17 and up. But really, anybody can buy it in the store because that's just a recommendation. There are no rules or regulations or laws in relation to this computer software.
Okay. Thank you, Angela Hale, in our Fort Worth newsroom tonight.
Thanks, Angela. Police in Flower Mound round up 50 high school students who allegedly used drugs and alcohol in the parking lot of a nearby church. That tops Eye on America tonight. The students attend Marcus High School. Police say so far 2 of the teens are charged with narcotics possession. School's principal says students leave campus and go to the neighboring Joy Tabernacle Church to smoke and do drugs. He says hopefully they now get the message.
We're not here to cause anyone to have problems, but we're not going to have drugs. We're not going to have illegal activities going on around our school.
Police took hidden videotapes of the activities. They'll identify the participants and deal with them on a case-by-case basis. A school crossing zone on Highway 80 in Fort Worth gets a facelift today. City workers restriped the crosswalk and put up signs to help kids cross the area safely. The work comes after 13-year-old Josh Warner was hit and killed Tuesday while riding in his bike to school. The city says it's looking for other ways to make the busy crossing safer for kids. Still no word on the cause of a fire that killed 3 small children in Waco. Neighbors heard the mother screaming for help outside the burning home. Firefighters found the bodies of a 1-year-old boy, a 2-year-old boy, and a 3-year-old girl. Fire started in an upstairs bedroom. Witnesses say a neighbor tried to save the children but couldn't.
A mother who lost her 2 sons in the Oklahoma City bombing talks publicly for the first time after undergoing surgery to have her tubes untied. 23-year-old Edie Smith had her tubes tied 2 years ago. Yesterday, she undergoes surgery in Austin to reverse that procedure.
I'm just so happy to have had this done. I can't wait. I just can't wait to have another baby.
The hospital waived the fees for Smith's operation and says the operation was a success. It was nearly 5 months ago since the Oklahoma City bombing, and still North Texans continue to help in the recovery there. Today, a caravan of law enforcement vehicles from more than 32 Texas police agencies leave Dallas City Hall, headed to Oklahoma City. They take with them everything you need for an old-fashioned Texas county fair. The fair is a fun event planned for bomb victims and the volunteers who helped. Nearly 4,000 people are expected to attend. Now, it's tomorrow at the Oklahoma State Fairgrounds. And help is needed on Long Island, where brush fires aren't even close to being put out tonight.
The fire has already destroyed 6,000 acres and threatens thousands more. As 11 News reporter Byron Harlan shows us, the focus is on controlling the blaze before it causes more devastation.
It's been 2 full days of rough, rugged work. Firefighters are grinding it out on the ground, getting support from crop dusters. They circled the fire, spraying water on the massive blaze. It's been churning through the dry brush of eastern Long Island.
Every time you put it out, you go 10 feet, you put out another fire, you come back, and it's back up again.
The fire's been a monster, damaging or destroying property. That's why authorities have told hundreds of people who live in this exclusive area they've got to get out.
It's scary, yes. Very upsetting.
Investigators are telling stories of heroic work on the part of firefighters who've managed to limit the damage from the fire, but they're not saying much about how it started. Some reports say arson may be the cause. That's based on the way in which the fire's burning. But there's also the possibility that a spark from a motorcycle or even a cigarette butt may have triggered the blaze. It's charred thousands of acres of brush that's dangerously dry because of the drought that's affected this area for the past few weeks. Combine that with the erratic and often brisk wind, and you've got a lethal combination. All indications are the fire is dying off, but it's tough to declare victory. With the miserable conditions, the fire could once again regain a head of steam, and nobody wants that, which is why the authorities are staying on the alert. In Southampton, New York, I'm Byron Harlan for 11 News.
1,500 volunteer firefighters and 5 helicopters are helping to put out the fires. They were too scared to step in and help. That's what one witness says about the brutal beating of Delthea Word. She was beaten before a crowd of onlookers last Saturday in Detroit. Then she jumped into the river and drowned. Bus driver watched while a man slugged, kicked, and choked the woman, but he and everyone else were apparently too scared to help. A 19-year-old man is charged with Word's death.
Investigators looking into a plane crash in Georgia this week are now calling for immediate inspections of Hamilton Standard propellers and are grounding planes similar to the one that crashed. That tops our Eye on America tonight. Those same propellers were used on the Atlantic Southeast Airlines plane that went down Tuesday. The National Transportation Safety Board is focusing on a broken propeller blade found at the crash site. 5 people died in that crash. All lies. That's what Harry Wu describes China's case against him. The Chinese-American activist speaks out today and says he's fighting back against China for illegally detaining him. Wu was convicted of spying in China and expelled from the country yesterday. A California girl is trying to make history by becoming the first ever Boy Scout. 11-year-old Katrina Yao of Sacramento is trying to join the Boy Scouts of America. The organization says their program is only for boys. Now, Katrina is filing a lawsuit against them.
I am a little concerned that this will be a problem, but I think I can handle it.
A similar suit was filed in 1991. In that case, the girl lost.
Prosecutors in the O.J. Simpson trial blocked testimony today concerning a blood drawing experiment. Also, the jury's told it breaks the record for being sequestered 226 days, the longest in California history. And now O.J. Simpson is filing a lawsuit based on copyright infringement. He's suing dozens of retailers and manufacturers selling unauthorized Simpson products. Oregon Senator Bob Packwood changes his mind. He now wants public hearings on sexual misconduct charges against him. Packwood says he's upset the Senate Ethics Committee has reopened its investigation of him following claims of misconduct by 2 more female accusers. The Senate will consider Packwood's request next month. And Jerry has other national and international news as he keeps an eye on the world.
Beth, a dramatic train derailment in South Korea, as we'll see in our Eye on the World tonight. The train jumps the tracks on a bridge over a swollen river. At least 1 person is killed, 120 others injured. 2 cars plunged into the river. 1 was dangling over the edge. The heavy rains had damaged the bridge. 2 German Tornado warplanes crashed after colliding in midair over southern Germany. The fighter jets came down about 8 miles apart. Fortunately, 2 crew members in each plane ejected safely, and no one on the ground was hurt. The president of Egypt is offering Saddam Hussein a place to live. Hosni Mubarak is offering Hussein asylum in Egypt to help solve Iraqis' political problems. The country of Jordan wants Hussein out. And that's Eye on the World for tonight. Beth?
It was a story about a wild child who rampaged through local singles bars, leaving wasted males in her wake. It was big news in the Aspen, Colorado newspaper. Problem was, the entire story was made up. Reporter typed in the story as a prank for his girlfriend. Somehow it ended up on the front page. Quickly sold out. The editor won't say if the reporter will be disciplined. Well, a few showers in the area today.
That's right. There were a few lucky ones of you out there. And Brad Borton joins us now with our forecast first. Brad?
Yeah, there were very spotty showers in the area. They're pretty much ending now within the next hour or so. In fact, most of them died out. But we do want to also take you in on the tropics. 76 for the low tonight, 97, maybe 1 or 2 thunderstorms tomorrow, and 75 for the low tomorrow night. Now, on our fly-in tonight, we're going to go back across the Caribbean again. There's 2 things we want to show you. One will be Tropical Storm Iris. Tropical Storm Iris right here, zooming in on that right now. Coordinates, 60.7 west, 14 degrees north. It's weakened a little bit, 50-mile-an-hour winds moving to the west at 9 miles an hour. We also have Tropical Depression Jerry, still record rainfalls across Florida, and a few showers and thunderstorms left in the hill country. More coming up on weather in a few minutes.
All right, Brad, thank you. Well, it's not a social club or a church club.
But this one can raise your interest. At 10:13, we'll show you how these women are preparing to rake in the cash.
At 10:18, you have Windows 95. Now, what do you do? A step-by-step demonstration of how to open the door.
But first, more problems at Denver Airport. We'll show you why they're trying to keep the noise down. Next.
You're watching Cherry Jenkins, Beth McKay, Gerard Moncure Sports, and meteorologist Brad Barton with the weather. This is 11 on 11 at 10.
Making news tonight, more troubles for Denver International Airport. The FAA is imposing nighttime flight rules to lower noise levels. 17,000 noise complaints have been filed since the airport opened in February. Well, you'll no longer see banners advertising topless clubs flying over the ballpark in Arlington. The city of Arlington, the Rangers, and the pilots all reach an agreement. The pilots say they'll stop towing the banners advertising topless clubs. They received lots of complaints from people concerned about children who attend the games. Well, they're pooling their resources, hoping to score big in the financial world.
Thousands of women across the country are joining together to form investment clubs, and they're making money, lots of it. Just ask some women in Cedar Hill who only started a few months ago.
How many shares do we have now?
Everything we've bought so far has gone up.
They're exercising their financial options. No, these women aren't stockbrokers. One's a dance instructor, a retired postmaster, housewives now handling their own investments.
So many young people don't know anything about investments. And if something should happen to their husbands, then they could carry on.
Clara Hudson is the founder of this women's investment network in Cedar Hill.
And that was the time, really, to buy some more.
She's recruited 25 members, including her daughter, Marcia, who used to rely on her husband to make the financial decisions.
He always handled that, and I had no interest whatsoever.
But not anymore. Along with other members, Marcia paid $120 to join and spends $20 a month to buy more stock.
Yes, working those biceps.
Right now, the club takes a wait-and-see attitude. So far, they've only invested in 5 companies, but they've already made several $100s since starting in March. They try to do all the work themselves and not rely on a broker.
We try to get 1 or 2 people to volunteer, to survey, you know, to get out and research.
These investors are patient, realizing this is a long-term project.
Our goal is to have at least 100 shares per stock. We should be rolling in the dough.
Call it their own private lottery. But this one's a much wiser investment. The Cedar Hill Investment Club wants to help other clubs get started. If you'd like some information, you can call area code 214-227-4140. Again, that number, 214-227-4140.
Well, the Rangers are on the road.
Trying to bounce back after a loss, Gerard Moncure lets us know how it went in Kansas City. Later in Eye on Sports.
And logging on the Windows 95 might take longer than you think. Our Cyber Eye takes a look next.
After all the hype, it's time to open the windows.
That's right. If you bought Windows 95, you probably know by now that it's not that easy to get started. Well, tonight, some help. Health and Science reporter Mark Levinson is in our Dallas newsroom. Mark, what's the problem with Windows 95?
Well, Jerry, it's not the program itself. It's that it's a brand new product, and there's a lot of folks out there who have to learn from scratch, even experienced computer users like Michael Roars.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
Good.
Today, it's Michael Roars' turn to do Windows. A full set of Windows 95 for his fiber optic products business.
It's the need to upgrade software. I mean, it's about time.
Now, what's Michael in for? Well, one thing they don't tell you in all the hype. It's not like you take Windows 95, put it in your computer, and just type away.
The challenge? A pile of disks and a handbook that predicts an hour of setup time.
Here we go. Welcome to Windows 95 setup, and I'm actually in Windows for Workgroups right now.
So far, so good. The first disk checks out the system before it loads memory.
Is it still scouting around? Still scouting around. It's checking everything out.
Then, problems. 3 tries to load the program. Each time, Windows won't go.
It says that there's a problem with my hard disk, but I can't find any problem with my hard disk.
At this point, an hour's gone by.
All right.
So, Michael tries a different computer. This time, smooth sailing until another glitch. Windows says shut down and find more memory.
I'm not happy.
90 minutes to do Windows and still no Windows.
Now, a few minutes ago, I spoke with Michael. After 2 hours of effort, he tells me his Windows are finally up and running. Well, why so long? He says the handbook needs to make the instructions a little more clear.
Uh-oh. So, Mark, should everyone have this kind of trouble, you think?
Well, probably not. But Microsoft expects lots of first-time frustration, so there's advice from a Windows helpline at 206-635-7000. That's 206-635-7000. And if your Windows frustrates you, don't worry. Remember, everyone's in a new learning curve.
Trying to get through on that number is going to be tough, I bet.
right. Yeah.
Busy signal. Thanks a lot.
Have a good weekend.
You too.
Well, another steamy one tomorrow.
Brad Barton is in next to let us know if we can expect any rain. Stay with us.
Storm Team 11 weather with meteorologist Brad Barton.
Well, the folks on Long Island sure wish they could see some of this rain, and so do the folks in Florida, as a matter of fact. They've had upwards of 15 inches of rain across Naples, Florida, 9 inches of rain across portions of northern Georgia the last 2 days, and there's no let-up in that. In fact, tonight, you can still actually see some of the remnants now of Jerry here over Alabama and over portions of Mississippi. We have a few showers and thunderstorms just now dying out southwest of the Dallas-Fort Worth area on down into the hill country. This is the remnant of a little tropical wave that moved on shore, and it's really just an upper-level disturbance right now. No big deal, but it may give us another slight chance of rain again tomorrow. It looks like this on radar. A few widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. You can see they've been declining quite a bit overnight. Of course, back to the west, a lot of monsoonal moisture now moving through New Mexico, and that, in fact, extends on into the upper plains. You'll see in just a minute. Right now, 87 degrees at DFW Airport, 80 up in the Panhandle, a few showers and thunderstorms in the hill country, and we're seeing 90 degrees at Del Rio. But the rain is between Del Rio, San Antonio, and on up toward Austin tonight. We got up to 87. Of course, 87 is our current temperature, 62% relative humidity. Barometric pressure is rising, light southeasterly winds. We did actually get a trace of rain at DFW Airport from those showers that were in the Flower Mound area earlier today. 97 was the high, 95 is the average, warmer than normal. Records 106 and 61 degrees set back in 1926. I fear it's going to be a long time before we get down there. 108, we did exceed the ozone standard today for Dallas. Fort Worth stayed in the fair range. Another ozone advisory is in effect tomorrow. Pollen will be going down here this weekend into early next week because it has been generally dry. On the national satellite tonight, showers and thunderstorms. The monsoonal moisture continues to ride this big high-pressure ridge over the central part of the country. A lot of showers and thunderstorms. In fact, you don't hear of a traffic jam in Wyoming very often, but on I-90 they had golf ball-sized hail. Everybody had to pull off to the side of the road. Here is what's left of Jerry, and we're going to see more and more rains moving through that area, and they extend clear on down into Florida. So Very tough situation in the southeast right now. Tomorrow, we're going to have kind of a double-barreled front draped across the northern half of the country. We're down to 43 degrees in Pendleton, Oregon this morning. That was a new record for their cold temperature. We'll have a weak dry line across our area, but nothing really serious. The upper-level disturbance will be in the neighborhood, but again, just a couple of showers ending tonight, clearing and warm, 74 to 77 for the overnight low, light and variable winds. Partly cloudy, hazy, and hot tomorrow. If you're out at the lake, there might be a thunderstorm, so be aware of that. 95 to 98 for the high, and our 5-day calls for another couple of thunderstorms on Sunday. And then I think if we're going to see rain, we'll probably be more likely to see rain Monday and Tuesday, drying out on Wednesday.
Okay, 43 degrees in Oregon.
Wouldn't that be nice? Let's go.
It would be nice,
Brad.
thanks. Washing the dog, no easy task.
But there's a Frenchman who thinks he's solved the problem. We'll show you how he's keeping it clean a little later.
I'm Gerard Moncure. Coming up next in sports, the Cowboys get ready to leave the ranch for another fight in the Alamo Dome. We'll have the details up next in sports.
Eye on Sports with Gerard Moncure.
Kenny Rogers with a 1-2 pitch. Line to right field, a base hit. Mercedes being waved around third. Here comes a throw from Greer. It is offline.
Last chance for us as starters to get much work in, and we did that. And now this week we're pulling back, and the most we were going to play as it was a series, and the decision was not to even risk getting hurt during that one series. So we're not going to play.
NFL preseason tonight, Miami at Tampa Bay. Dan Marino looking in mid-season form, firing a bullet over the middle. Great catch by Gary Clark, which led to a Dolphin touchdown. Tampa hope to see big things from Alvin Harper tonight, back in the lineup after that knee strain. But it's Trent Dilfer to Jackie Harris here for 6, and Harper giving the celebration hug. Tampa wins at 24-17. And at Reunion Arena tonight, Sidekicks getting their kicks at the expense of the Washington Warthogs. First period, 2-on-1, Dave Reichart with a shot in the score, 1-0 Dallas. Still in the first, another 2-on-1 this time. Chris Hayden with the assist to Nick Stavro, who scores another. Sidekicks go on to win it, 8-3, the final. And of course, we'll be back tomorrow from San Antonio, and the Cowboys and the Oilers.
Have a good time.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay.
See you then.
Brad Barton has your weekend forecast when we come back.
And high-tech has reached the doggy world. We'll give man's best friend a shower and blow dry next. Looking hot in the morning, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's going to be warm anyway, and hazy, too. A lot of moisture in the air. Probably 97 for the high tomorrow. 1 or 2 thunderstorms within radar range. 75 for the low tomorrow night, but a little better chance of rain early next week.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Brad. Well, if you have a hard time washing the dog, don't worry. A French inventor wants to help.
That's right. He's come up with a dog wash, which will probably look pretty familiar. Works sort of like a car wash. The machine gives the dog a bath, then dries the little guy. Okay, so the dog doesn't really like it that much, but the inventor hopes to have the machine installed in service stations and supermarkets.
Just
Can you
can't
see
get
that?
a dog to like to be washed.
Bath sound, the big B word, and they're out of there. And that's 11 on 11 for tonight. Thanks so much for joining us.
We'll see you again tomorrow night at 5. Have a good night.
Good night.